The Wall Street Journal reports Apple is speeding up work on a project that could have the tech giant shipping its first electric car by 2019. Host and editor for CNET's Apple Byte, Brian Tong, joins us from San Francisco. Hey, Brian.
Hey, what's up, Contessa?
All right, I don't understand this. Why in the world would a company that has spent 14 years going from the iPod to Apple iPhone 6S and Apple Watch and iPad and Apple TV, but basically media delivery devices, want to get into a car manufacturing business?
Well, you know what? I think that Apple has always been a company that kind of comes up with evolutions or their own take on products. You know, we had plenty of phones before, we had plenty of tablets, and yes, it's been limited to the tech sector, but now because tech is everywhere, you know, we've seen what Tesla has been able to do with their car line, and we've seen how electric cars slowly but surely are becoming more important. And let's be honest, Apple is sitting on nearly $200 billion. They can use some of that money to, you know, try some of these projects, and the electric car sounds like one of those ones that they've really been looking at over the past year.
Reuters says that Tesla loses more than $4,000 on every car it sells. Is that really the model Apple wants to follow?
Obviously not. I think one of the other aspects is that, you know, Tesla's trying to invest in this right now to be that car of the future. I mean, I didn't really believe in the Tesla car until I actually sat in it and experienced it. And it's one of those things that down the road, I would definitely consider getting a Tesla. For Apple, though, you know, they're not used to margins that are super competitive in the car industry. The car industry makes around 10% margins. Apple's used to getting somewhere around 40%. So, you know, I think part of this is a passion thing. Part of this is also making investors happy of, look, they need to pursue other avenues to get more revenue just as a company as a whole. And Apple has taken away the whole I from their name of their company. They want to be larger than just devices and tech products, and this is kind of one of those natural steps.
Wait, so it's not going to be called iCar?
It won't be called it'll be called the Apple Car, though.
Okay,
but it won't be called the iCar.
So basically, it is a vanity project, is what you're saying. I mean, Google's coming out with the car. Do you think that this Apple car is just the execs at Apple thinking, you know what, we can't let Google beat us to the car punch?
I don't know if it's 100% that. I mean, there's always these kind of ego battles between these companies. Google really great at maps and search. Apple plays catch up. Apple really great at products. Google not necessarily the best at building their own products. So there's always been this competition between the two. I think ultimately, you know, Apple wants to be at the forefront of what's hot and what they believe they can change. And if they really feel like with their expertise with hardware and software and sensors, they can build their own vision of a car, so they're going to do it.
Right. So, Brian, here's the thing. If you're sitting in a Tesla car, I'm going to assume you've sat in other advanced Ford's car and all of that, that is the cutting edge of technology. These car manufacturers have done an amazing job adapting their new models to accommodate Apple's technology. So why does Apple need its own car if they're already, if people who have expertise in making cars are making them to accommodate Apple's stuff?
Well, we've seen Apple actually do this in the past where some of their devices or some of the new software features they include in their phone have pretty much eliminated third-party apps that had flourishing businesses from their app, people going to them, and then Apple's like, we're just going to put this feature in our phone. The majority of users won't even know that there was this third-party app, and now it's part of Apple's ecosystem. So Apple is not shy about doing those things. Sure, it may be, you know, an awkward relationship, but at the end of the day, if Apple makes an electric cars right now make up like less than 0.5% of the market, so they'll still have some sort of relationship with the manufacturers. If it gets to that point where they actually release the car in 2019, it's going to get a little testier, but I don't think Apple necessarily cares. They've always been like that.
Does this mean we're going to have to, if you get an Apple car, you're going to have to update it every year?
You might. No, you won't update it every year, but I like that one.
Yeah. Hey, I know it's going to happen. Brian, you're going to record this segment right here, and in 2019, 2020 maybe, I'm not really an early adopter, you're going to play it back to me when everybody's got Apple cars. You like, oh, ye of little faith, you skeptic.
They might. If they make like a lowrider sport one, I might go there.
For sure, and then we could low rider. Brian, see ya.
Thanks.